Radio, episode number 27. And it's 27 episodes we're in, and I don't know, man.
We're still going strong, and we're only
still
getting
going
better.
strong, man.
But 27, I feel like last time I heard that was like 19, so we've come up quite a few.
For sure. Now, this week has been a week of, like, sadness, I guess, with two people in Asia passing away. One guy, he fought for one championship, Rocky BatolBatol. I think he's from the Philippines. He died in a car accident. So RIP to him. You know, that's a sad story right there. Whenever somebody dies in the MMA community, everybody kind of, pays their condolences, even though you might not know them, but you know of them and seen them fight, or, seen their fighters fight or whatever. They're connected somehow. Like, don't you think, like, every fighter, every coach in the MMA community, especially in Asia, because there's not many promotions, they're connected.
Yeah, I think, for sure. It's definitely like the MMA community, man. It's like the wrestling community. It's small, or the Muay Thai community. It's small, it's especially in Asia. And then, like, when you take it to just Asia, like, a lot of people don't really know each other, but know each other and have bumped into each other. There's a lot of Westerners, especially, like, living in Asia, and like, everyone knows random people and has common mutual friends. So it's a very small community, especially in Asia. And obviously, fighting in the 1FC, everyone knows who he was. So it's pretty sad.
Yeah, one thing weird about, like, everybody knows each other, but they don't really know each other, and you might have seen them, they might have seen you, is because I think with the social networking is so strong.
For sure. Or, like, even like common friends, man. You, like, talk to someone, you're like, oh yeah, they're like, oh hey, where are you from? And it's like, oh hey, I'm from Atlanta. And then it's like, oh no shit, do you know so and so? And then it's like, yeah, I do know. So just the other day, Bruno Miranda had a friend come who teaches jiu-jitsu in China. He's a black belt, old school black belt too, who actually will be fighting in the 1FC in the near future. Anyways, he's old school Brazilian top team. And Bruno was like, hey, this is so-and-so, da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh, cool, nice to meet you. And he was like, told me that he was Brazilian top team, and then, like, told me his age and stuff. And I was like, oh, do you know da-da-da-da-da? And he was like, yeah, this is my brother. And then he, like, started showing me photos. It was, like, my old jiu-jitsu coach from Atlanta. Like, such a small world. Yeah, like, and then I sent a selfie of us together, and then Jukal messaged me back, and he's like, hey, that's my brother. Take care of him. He's a super cool guy. He's super good. Da-da-da-da-da. So, yes, it is a very small community, I think, for sure.
Yeah, it's like, even if you never met somebody in person, like, you could have conversations about MMA online all the time, and and have a cool little relationship with them, even though you never fucking physically met them.
Right.
So, it kind of, everything is so tied in together. It's that kind of like that 6 degrees of separation.
Oh,
It's
yeah, for
really
sure.
true. It's really true in MMA, because the communities, it's big, but it's not big at the same time. So also moving on is another more sad news from Thailand. Matt Richardson, who is a Muay Thai fighter, and he fought MMA many times, a big time veteran in the area. He's been out there for a long time. He just fought John Wayne Parr, who is a legend in the sport. And
he just fought MX, like, Muay Extreme, I think, last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure last week, like, within the last 2 weeks, I think he fought Muay Extreme.
What do you know about that situation? Because you're very close to the area, so.
So it was in Patong that they found him. And Patong's, like, probably 15 minutes, 20 minutes max here from Shillong. I don't know much other than what I've read. It's like the internet definitely, like, or the people I'm connected to on social media have, like, shared a lot of videos of him fighting and different things like that. I don't know Matthew that well. I have most of the people that I'm in contact with know him very well. I've seen him fight a couple times, and he trained at Tiger for about a month while I was here. When I first, probably maybe after 8 months or so of me being here, he trained MMA for about a month or so before an MMA fight in China. Everything that I knew about the guy, was just a really nice guy. Seemed to me kind of like a nomad, but he was a super nice guy. I never heard really any bad things about him, or had every encounter I had with him, he was always very polite and very nice. So he seemed like a really good dude. So not knowing him that well, still really sad to hear about him. Oh, hey, Sayat.
Oh shit, we got a guest just hopping in out of nowhere like a ninja. Can you hear us? He can't hear us.
Yeah.
Oh, he can hear us now.
Okay.
Yeah, joining us, the manager to the stars, right? Sayat, what's going on?
All good, bro. All good. How are you? Thank you for having me, by the way. Yeah.
No problem, man. Always.
Spasiba.
Always welcome. Now, Sayat, can you tell us what you do? Explain to us, your role. Who do you manage, and
Yeah, one of the most famous guys is obviously going to be Kairat Akhmetov, ONE FC Flyweight Champion. And I also work with other talented fighters from Kazakhstan, Russia, and China. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of up and coming fighters who's gonna be making a name for themselves soon on a big stage.
So you're the passageway for them to kind of get bigger and get more, bigger fights and stuff like that out in Asia.
Yeah, it's funny because in Kazakhstan and there was not many managers, obviously not at all. And when I started doing this, I was probably the first one who sent our guys to the major promotions outside of Kazakhstan. And yeah, and I was also helping Chinese fighters to go outside and fight outside.
So I heard you speak many languages. So how many languages do you actually speak?
He's the brain.
Speak 4 fluently, Russian, Kazakh, obviously English, and Chinese.
Right now, there's so many fighters, right, coming out of Russia, Kazakhstan, China. So
yeah,
being able to speak all these languages, how much of an impact does it have for you when you go deal with all these promotions?
Oh, it definitely helps. It's 100% that gives me a advantage in negotiations, in talking with promotions, talking with fighters, just building the bridges, Chinese fighter fighting somewhere in Dubai, or some Russian fighter will go to Korea, Kazakh fighter will go fight I don't know, India, and all this become impossible because of bridges I create, connections, network. Yeah, just creating possibilities that wasn't existing before, didn't exist. Yeah.
How did you get into managing though? Like you said earlier, there was nobody that was managing anybody, but how did you get into it? What made you say, "Hey, I want to manage these fighters that are coming out. I want to help these guys." What made you want to do that?
I didn't really had a goal to be a manager, or just happened by coincidence. Started with just the guys asking me "Oh, do I know a fighter who can come and compete there?" So I started as a middleman, as an agent, and helping fighters get fights. And then I decided to grow, and not only help fighters get a fight, but also like help them with their career, manage them, like completely like working with them on all levels.
Who was your first guy that you helped?
I'd say my first guy is like my Tiger Muay Thai buddies, friends, is like Oleg Olenchev, Grigory Popov. They're like same with George, the one who won at the TMT tryouts 3 years ago. So like one of the best tryouts we ever had. Yeah. So Oleg and Grigory, yeah.
How to show tryouts.
Yeah, and right now Grigory, he was like a pure Muay Thai fighter, world champion. Right now he's 10-1, fighting.
Go plotting people.
Yeah,
just hit crazy submissions.
Hitting crazy submissions, fighting at flyweight. And Oleg is top 100 middleweight in the world according to Fight Matrix, and signed like contract with M1 Global.
Oh.
And when he came to Tiger, he was like had only one professional fight. And now he's like 9-4.
Damn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, when you go deal with like Russia, because you hear stories like dealing with Russia, dealing with China, those promotions. Let's talk about Russia first. When you deal with Russian promotions, like what are the like benefits of dealing with Russian promotions? Because most people always talk about the negative aspects. So what are the benefits for you?
Well, it depends on promotions, like for example, in ACB, you're going to get paid well, you're going to get paid cash, and there's good matchmaker, there's no easy fight, but you will get paid well, and like it's going to be well matched, right? But then you're going to fight in some crazy places like Chechnya, Dagestan, some small cities. Yeah. It's definitely not an advantage, but yeah, in ACB they have like bonuses. They have like a finish bonus now. Everyone who finishes the fight, he get a like $5,000 bonus.
Everyone who finishes.
Yeah.
Everyone on the card.
Wow.
Yeah. And if you get a best knockout or best submission, they get like extra 10,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So in the future ACB, okay.
Hook it up.
Yeah. Then with fight nights, it's a bit different. For example, it's more of a like short notice fights too, and you'll have to wait for the payment for like 1 month after the fight. But positive side for fight nights, I like the show part of it. They're like doing like a good promotion, good show, and you feel like a part of like a good event, for fight nights. Yeah, these are just like two main Russian promotions that I'm working with at the moment.
What, like, I know in Russia, but isn't M1 Global, are they based out of Russia too?
Yeah.
So, like you said with ACB, you go to like crazy areas to fight, like small towns or whatever in Chechnya and stuff. Where's the craziest place you have been with your fighters? Like you fought in like the mountains or, like what is the craziest spot?
Yeah, I didn't travel much to Russia recently, but yeah, like for me, craziest place, some smallest cities in China. Or people will never see a foreigner at these places, they will just stare at you. But like a small city in China, is like 2-3 million population. So
yeah, it's not really small.
Yeah.
No.
So it's like, smart move to promotions to have an event in Chinese small city, because it's going to be like a big event for the city, and the stadium is going to be like packed, like 3,000-4,000 people. It's easy, where like in Beijing or Shanghai, there's a lot of things happening in these cities. People are busy, so it's hard to fill out like stadiums in these like big cities.
Like you hear stories about China, and like I've talked to many fighters that they will, like on this podcast, I've talked to many fighters that will tell me in China, they will like you could go to China and fight, and you don't know if they're setting you up to lose or they're giving you a good matchup. So what do you think of that? Like your experiences of in China?
Yeah, like Chinese market been developing a lot. Before it was like when it was the beginning, it was just you bring foreigners to lose. You know, they don't want foreigners to win, and there was problem with judges, referees, and organization at all. And right now, China came a long way, and there's good professional organizations. You know, there's fair judges. Some like Ulim Feng, they use like foreign judges, foreign referees, and they matching people well. But you know, like Kunlun still does it. You know, they still bring people to lose. You know, they don't want like their champions to lose to foreign guys. They don't want like a foreigner champion. Like our teammate Tetsuya, he beat like Kunlun champ, but it wasn't for the belt.
Right.
You know, so he beats the champ, but he's not a champ. You know, it's weird. You know.
Yeah, that is weird.
So now it's definitely better if you're working like with major promotions. You know,
Art of War was great.
Yeah, Art of War was great, but right now they also kind of stopped doing events. Yeah, but there's still so many small shows, you know. And if you go to the small show, you better be ready for everything, you know.
What do you think? What do you think are the promotions in China right now that you think would be good to fight at right now?
Well, Ulim Feng, they have a show. WLF, they have show every month. Every month they put on like a 25, 27 fight card, and they film it like for TV station, and then they play it in replay. So it's good for like smaller weight classes. They even have like straw weights, flyweights, bantamweight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of like straw weights. Even like for girls, there's atom weights. So every month there's WLF. Kunlun is okay too, but you know, Kunlun, if you're not fighting their top guy, you know, if you're not fighting the champion. And who else I can say?
I seen Rebel FC is coming back.
Yeah, Rebel is coming back. Rebel is gonna like schedule 2 shows. They're gonna have a show in August, and they're gonna have a show like in September.
Yeah, they're doing some kind of tournament or something.
Yeah, they have like a welterweight, like a veteran tournament. The old guys fighting each other.
They have an interim featherweight belt.
Yeah, and the winner gonna fight like Kleber.
Yeah, and I fought one of them already. The Japanese guy.
Yeah.
Who's that guy?
Tatsuya. I don't remember his last name. I'm sure Sayat will pull it up.
Yeah, let me check. I forget. But yeah, I remember that fight. You know, it was a George. Everyone thought George won that fight, but you know, you see, like everyone talking about China giving like shitty decision.
Yeah,
but
that was the crazy part. I remember being like asking like my corner, "Oh, did I win?" And then Roger was like, "Yeah, you won." And then like the guy being like, "Oh, you a good fighter, you win." And he was like very respectful. And I was just thinking to myself, "Oh, this is Japan. It's like very respectful. There's no way this is going to happen." Because I was thinking about when I fought in China against Wu Haoten, and I was thinking for sure at that time I was going to get screwed, but I won the decision, and in Japan I lost the decision.
Yeah, so Tatsunao Nagakura. He actually, you know.
Yes. We've seen each other a couple times since then. Actually, when Kai Kara fought in Ryzen, it was against one of his, like, we cornered against each other. And, like, before there was, like, this mutual, like, respect. And then afterwards, like, we had a couple words to each other. And then, like, one of the UFCs before, like, a year and a half ago or so, like, we spoke to each other. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, I heard he was retired, but then he decided to, like, come back to fight.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to fight. I think he has his own business and does like quite well for himself, but obviously likes to fight and stuff. And good fighter. It's crazy that he came from
with most like Japanese fighters, they work like full-time job.
Yeah.
Every time you find them a fight, then they had to ask like to leave from the work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's him for sure. He was on that the show the UFC had for the
Road to
Japanese.
UFC, yeah.
Yeah. So I think a lot of those guys are like that, man. They work hard and train as well, but not like Tatsuya fighting like 4 times in a month.
Yeah. Tetsuya Yamada.
Oh, isn't he fighting soon?
Yeah.
He's fighting in one championship, September 2nd, Shanghai. He's fighting in Jadamba.
Oh, he's fighting Jadamba?
Yeah.
That's a big fight right there.
Yeah, it's a good fight.
That's a good fight. Oh, that's the fight. That's Askren's going to be on that card, right?
Yeah, Askren versus Kadestam is the main event.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. But now let's go to Kairat, because he's fighting soon. Now, they're originally supposed to fight in Indonesia, but then they canceled the event. When you guys heard when they canceled the event, how much time was still left until the event was actually supposed to happen?
It was like 9 or 10 days.
What was going on in his mind and your mind also? Like, you guys are together, so.
Because like I heard the rumors that the event's going to be canceled, but I didn't want to tell him because, it will like screw up his preparation, because I wasn't sure if it's going to be canceled. But then like we didn't receive tickets, and I was keep on asking. And then first the news came out that about the investment ONE FC got.
Yeah.
And the second day, the news about cancellation of the event came out.
A lot of people were talking shit about that.
Yeah, and like Kairat was very unhappy, He was unhappy. He was like very negative about it, and I tried to keep him on a positive side. I told him that everything for the better. Macau gonna be better event, better place. And I told him like, yeah, don't worry, it's gonna be like extra week for you to prepare, so don't worry about it. And now he seemed to be back in a good mood,
Yeah, it's
because he was pissed.
Yeah, because you guys, they canceled the event, right? And then they didn't immediately say like when you guys were going to where they're going to move the fight to. So you guys were kind of like in limbo.
No, like they offered us the fight to move the fight to the Macau card right away. Like they said, the event's canceled, and then they offered right away. Of course, we agreed because it was the best option. Because if you don't take the fight, you with ONE FC, you don't know when you're gonna fight next time. Maybe like after 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking about you don't know when you're gonna fight. Kairat, he's been out for like almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Right? And when he like he got injured, but he didn't really get injured. It's just like an injury came back, right? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Like, how did that actually happen? How did that injury come back? Was he training, or what happened with that?
I think like he just overtrained. He was in Albuquerque at Jackson Wing Academy, and I believe he just overtrained. And he likes the training in Albuquerque, but it's hard, psychologically. You're away somewhere in the middle without your friends and family, so he didn't like that aspect. So he got hurt, and pretty much same time he got offered to fight in Macau. It was a rematch, and it was like I believe 3 or 4 weeks notice for like a title fight, 5 rounds. So of course he said no.
When was that exactly?
Was the fight was in last year August, so he was offered the fight in July.
So I remember he said that it took about 4 or 5 months for him to recover. from the injury?
Yeah, like end of September or like beginning of October, he was already in Tiger. He came to Tiger, and he was expecting to fight in October or November, but then never heard back.
Shit. Just realized how long he's been here.
Yeah, it's been a while. Then he never heard back from ONE FC. So he came back to Kazakhstan, stopped training, then decided to move his whole family here. And when he was back in December, without like training for 1 month, they offered him a fight in January. And he couldn't take this fight because he was out of shape. And I clearly stated that he will be ready to fight in February in Kuala Lumpur card. But they still offered us like a Jakarta card in January, but which he had to refuse because it was not enough time for him to prepare.
Oh, so the original fight, the rematch, was supposed to be at the end of in the middle of last year. He couldn't take.
It was supposed to be like a January in Jakarta.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's probably basically the bad timing and like getting offered fights that it has extended it to, and injuries has extended it to almost 2 years of him not fighting. So for him, like right now, he's probably like angry to fight. Basically, is he? Is he like so eager to get into the cage?
He's chomping at the bit.
Crazy angry, crazy eager, because it was hard when date was keep on changing. He was ready to fight like February, March, April, May, but we never hear back about him fighting. Then they said June, then June was postponed till July, then beginning of July was postponed till the end of July, and now he's fighting in August, So it was hard for him mentally. And he's eager to come back, and he's hoping to fight more often after this fight.
But we're back now, baby. We're back.
Yeah.
Were you managing him when he debuted for ONE Championship?
No, I wasn't managing him at the time.
Do you know how he got he debuted with a title shot?
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing for a fighter to enter a promotion and debut.
Because that was a deal, before they signed him, he signed with one option. He's gonna sign only if he's gonna fight for a title right away. So he signed back in like March of 2015, but he was waiting to fight until like November of that year.
Damn, that's a long time.
Fight. Yeah, and that was his last fight.
Now, a lot of people, that fight, it was a close fight. And a lot of people are saying like, actually, yeah, a lot of people are saying, but also, Moraes is saying that he won that fight, and even like Rich Franklin has come out and said like he thinks that Moraes has won that fight, right? So how does Kairat respond to that? What is his thoughts on that?
For me personally, I don't know what fights they were watching. I can understand why Adriano thinks he won, because no one like to agree, except that he lose. But I don't know about others. And for me and Kairat personally, he don't understand why people think like this fight was close or why people think he lost. When we were looking at that fight, he was dominating. Stand up, he can take him down whenever he wanted it. Adriano, except like of couple sweeps and like couple kicks to the body, I don't know what he did in this fight. And I don't know, Kairat, he don't care. He don't care what other people think, because what matters that he's a champion. He's not an interim champion or something. He's like a undisputed world champion. And maybe it bothers him a bit, but he have a chance to prove everyone wrong. Who think he lost the first fight, he can prove everyone wrong next week, August 5. Macau.
When they set up the interim title fight, what was Kairat's, like opinion of that? Like, because when you're the champion, the undisputed champion, and then they all of a sudden make an interim title, it's not a good thing, right?
Yeah, like it's hard to compromise it, like because the champion been away only for like how many 7-8 months, and then you do interim title. But I understand like ONE FC have some responsibility for sponsors and stuff. Maybe they had to have like a title fight on that event, but it really makes no sense, especially against like a guy who also was debuting for ONE FC interim title fight, and the guy never made weight, so it was only like a title fight for Adriano. So well, I guess now it's like an era for interim belts. UFC is the same too, so so interim belts for everyone.
Yeah, because that fight was I think that fight, the interim title fight, was like more than a year ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think like exactly 1 year ago. Yeah.
So basically, they could have had another interim title fight. Like what's going on? Like there's too many. But
well, and then like there's Shinya, when the Shinya was a champion, and he was fighting like once a year or like once in like 15-18 months, but there were never like an interim title fight. I don't know why.
yeah. What about Hodger Gracie?
Jorge Grace, I think he's the only one in his division. I don't know who
I know,
else can
serious.
fight.
He's over there doing jiu-jitsu tournaments.
Yeah, and doing good. Yeah.
But hey, I'm really excited for this fight because number one, there's a lot of people like on each side. Like some people think it was close fight. Some people think that Adriano won. Some people think Kairat won. So they're kind of able to like close the door, and Kairat gets the opportunity to come back and show that there's no thing as ring rust. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah.
he's all good, baby.
The thing is, I think he don't know what does it even mean, like ring rust. Once I was talking to him like, oh, don't worry about being away for a long time, and he's like, so what? Like, doesn't matter, I don't know. I think he don't know what that mean, ring rust.
Yeah,
he's such a pleasure to be around. An absolute pleasure. Like he. Just the way he is like, that's like what Sayat said is like completely how he is. Like what are you talking about? What is ring rust? What does that mean?
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, Kairat need to write a book. It's gonna full of some crazy stories, some crazy shit happened to him. He's a very interesting character.
Yeah, like when it's after his fight, I would like to have him on and talk about some of the things back in Kazakhstan, because I know growing up in Kazakhstan is different from growing up in any other place in the world.
Yeah, and he was growing up like in the village, it's also a completely different experience,
Now, I want to talk about kind of like where you're from. Where are you from exactly?
I'm from west part of Kazakhstan, like a city called Aktau, right on the coast of Caspian Sea. Also like small city. Yeah, so I lived there since I was born till 16 years old, and then I moved to China to study. Lived there for 9 years. Yeah.
By yourself?
Hold on. Whoa.
Yeah, by myself.
That's high school in America, Sayat. So
yeah, I kind of like I finished like a high school earlier, because usually we finish like high school at like 18.
Things are starting to add up now. I'm learning a lot about you.
And we go to school at 7 years old, but I went at 6, and then I finished like 2 years in 1 year. So I like graduated when I was 16.
Holy shit. John, this is why I always say in meetings at work, Sayat's my brain.
So like you get to China, right? And
yeah,
you start school university?
Yeah, I first started with like language courses. I studied like Chinese for 2 years, and then I went to like a bachelor degree, master degree, then working. Yeah.
So by what age did you finish all your schooling?
So 24. When I was 24, I finished like my master degree.
Holy shit. Sayat. This is like vital information you kept from me.
I don't know.
Now, you're well educated, but I heard, through the grapevine that you are a beast, like on the mat too. So explain that. I heard some things, Sayat. I heard some things from like when I made my visit to Phuket, and I brought some people over there with me, and then they were training, and and when I went over there during the training, and they told me like, "Hey, I just sparred with that guy right there," and it was you, and they're like, "Yeah, that dude's good. He's strong. And, he got moves." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure he does." So what's your like martial arts background? Where did you start? Like, where did you develop yourself?
Yeah, like I started like with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I still doing that. Now I'm doing more like a no-gi of Jiu-Jitsu. I started when I was like 19 years old, so it's already almost 8-9 years of training.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've never been like an athletic guy, but Jiu-Jitsu like really fits people who can fight with their like intelligence, I think. Yeah. But in Tiger Muay Thai we have so many like high level fighters. It's hard, It's hard.
But it makes you better, right?
Yeah, I guess so. If I could go back to smaller gym, maybe I feel better. Yeah, but in Tiger Muay Thai there's like no easy rounds in sparring, But that's I believe that's how you grow.
So did you start jiu-jitsu in China?
Yeah, I started in China. And
so how was the jiu-jitsu scene in China at that time? Because I'm pretty sure there wasn't a lot of jiu-jitsu going on, was there?
yeah, like when I started, there was only like maybe 2 academies in like Beijing, and most of the students were like white belts, beginners who had like 1 Korean blue belt, which was like for us like a god, like a beast on the mat. Yeah, and our coach I was lucky like throughout my training. I always had like a Brazilian jiu-jitsu, Brazilian coach, from Brazil, black belts. So yeah, I had a good instructor from the beginning, and I know like most of people I know from the MMA circuit now, they also like started jiu-jitsu at the same time like with me. Like I was training with people like Wang Sai, like Hao Tian, the guy like George Ford, and like most of the like Ning Guangyou, the former UFC fighter, who trained at Tiger before. Yeah, we all trained like at the same gym. So they were training as a pro team, and we were just training like as a students. So that's how like from where I got all my like connections from like Chinese MMA.
Do you like compete in jiu-jitsu, or you just train right now? What do you do with that?
Recently, I don't compete often. Yeah, last time I competed like last year in AKA Thailand, held a tournament. Yeah, I got like a silver medal. It was a draw in the final, but I was fighting like an AKA guy, so I got a silver. Yeah, but yeah, recently I'm not into competing much because I think my main competition is like being a manager, getting deals done. That's
exactly right.
Yeah, that's where I get that's where I get like my satisfaction from. And jiu-jitsu is I love to do it, but I don't compete much often now.
Well, I guess are you open to managing other people? Like even like say like a fighter from Korea or a fighter from Japan? Were you open to doing those types of things?
Of course.
Like, I feel like if you manage someone, it's a big responsibility. If you manage someone, you have like common goals, and you go together towards these goals, and that's why I don't really manage too much people. I always can help with finding fights, like being like an agent, but I cannot like manage like 20, 30 people at the same time. They're just not gonna get enough time, enough attention, from me. So I definitely prefer like quality over quantity. But of course, if someone believe in me, in my abilities as a manager, and of course I'm gonna pay back. And I'm gonna do my best to the fighter.
All right, Sayat, thanks, man, for coming on and enlightening us on what you do, and yes, and telling us a lot about Kairat before he fights. So awesome. Thanks for coming on.
Yes, thanks for having me, guys. And yeah, hopefully next time I'll be here with Kairat, and we're gonna like talk about him.
Yeah, about the win.
Yeah, talking about the win. Yeah.
And living in Kazakhstan, I'm very interested in hearing about like his life.
Yeah, it's different from Korea.
Yeah. So.
Thank you, Sayat.
All right, thank you for coming on. And
good luck to your shows. Keep on doing good work. Yeah, and all the best for you guys.
Thank you.
For your show.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, that was Sayat, manager to the Stars, manager
Tiger Muay Thai employee.
Yeah, and manager to Kairat Akhmetov, the ONE FC or ONE Championship flyweight champion, undisputed. That's what he said, not me.
Yep. But and he will be undisputed again.
Yes. So there's George supporting his teammate. It's all good.
Hey, that's a big card, bro. We got 4 people on there.
For sure. And we'll be talking about that next week.
And I'll be there in Macau.
Oh, so you're gonna be there?
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on from, our guest. Last week we had Top FC or TFC 15, and in that event, TFC has a strong featherweight division, Yeah,
and the former champ won again.
Yeah, Sungu Choi, know him.
He's a beast. Yeah, it's my boy. He's a beast.
He took out the Korean Zombie protege like butter.
Yeah, he's coming back for the title.
Like butter, man. Like he sliced through him like chop suey, like the guy at the Ichiban, at the the Japanese
like
restaurant.
Koreans eat noodles.
Benihana. Exactly. So, yeah. Hey, TFC, man, they got a decent featherweight. The best
for sure.
If you're watching TFC, is their featherweight division.
The other dude, they got a good show.
The other dude, is damn, Song. You met him too. He sometimes he goes down to Phuket top team.
Shibaseke.
No, the guy that goes down to Phuket top team sometimes to train. Remember I told you?
Yes.
Oh man.
And we have a common friend, but I can't remember his name.
Yeah, let me try to get his name up because damn, I know his name, but I fucked up and forgot. His last name is Joe.
Joe, yeah, that's how I know him is Joe.
Yeah,
his last name is Joe.
Yeah, his last name is Joe.
That's our first name.
Well, in Korean, the last name comes first.
I have a common friend, and when she was like, she asked me all the time. She'll ask me, "Oh, how Joe?"
Oh, Songbin Joe.
Songbin Joe.
Yeah, Songbin Joe. Songbin is his first name. Joe is his last name. He's undefeated. He made his debut at TFC. He's like a pretty boy. He's got everything to be a star.
What do you mean he made his debut?
In TFC. That was the first time he ever fought in TFC.
What, recently?
The last card. Last weekend.
Yeah, but not like his debut in TFC, not like as a professional.
No, not as a professional. His debut in TFC, he's Korean, but this is his first fight ever in Korea.
Yeah, who was that guy he fought?
He fought the former deep champion.
That fat guy?
Yeah. Yoshifumi Nakamura. He's 20-10. He's a former deep champion or former deep Pacific Rim champion or some shit like that. But yeah, he took him out easy too. No,
I saw the fight, bro. Like Joe did good.
Hey, Joe, he's a huge featherweight.
Yeah. Hey, huge. Joe's good, man. I've trained with him before.
But this was his biggest test, man, and he went out and he was kind of nervous if you looked at his fight, because I was there live and I was watching it, and he looked kind of like more timid in the first round, but then once he got comfortable, he took him out easy.
Excuse me.
He took him out easy.
He trained at Tiger like a long time ago, probably like a year and a half or two ago.
Yeah, and
excuse me. But no, he's Joe's good, man. Like I've trained with him. Like Bruno's trained with him. We've all trained with him. He's really good. Yeah,
Joe, and to me, I think Joe, he needs to fight Choi for the #1 contender slot. And then
which one is Choi?
The guy that fought on the same night. The one that you know.
Okay. Yeah.
They need to fight each other and see whoever wins that fight should fight for the title. And or they should just give Joe the title shot.
I think against Ome.
Yeah.
They should fight each other.
And then if he wins, then give Choi the title shot and let them dudes fight it out. I think that would be fun to watch all day. Also, on the card, there was Kyusung Kim, right? He's like the best flyweight in Korea right now. Nobody really knows him, but he beat the Kunlun champion, the flyweight champion, like a couple months ago. And he's probably the best guy out there. But, he's another person to watch out for in the flyweight division. Jaeyoung Kim, he won the middleweight title, or he defended his title. And that's like 9 in a row for him with like 6 knockouts. And the UFC still hasn't picked him up. And he's like begging for the UFC to come and pick his ass up. But it seems like they don't want no middleweights from Asia. I don't know.
Or maybe they should get with the right manager.
That's also true too. But he has connections, because if you're fighting for TFC, they're
but I heard there's a new
crew with the UFC.
I'm sure, but maybe you need an American manager,
maybe,
or an American company that also goes into Asia. So
that's also true too. What about Weili Zhang, the Kunlun strawweight champion? She went in there, destroyed the Korean girl. I felt bad for her because the Korean girl was in there with somebody that
she shouldn't have been in there
with.
She
shouldn't have been in there with, and just standing elbow, like dropped her with a standing elbow.
Oh, mate, I saw it. It was great. I shared it.
Yeah,
I feel bad for her, but that was a great technique.
That girl, man, like I said it. I said that she should be fighting Angela Lee. They're both strawweights.
Yeah.
They're both the best in Asia. To be honest with you, this girl, Weili Zhang, she has more wins. She's more spectacular than Angela Lee is. I want to see them fight, man. Why don't they just put that together?
Hey, let's do it. Let's make a campaign.
Yeah, campaign that shit for this little Chinese girl. And then the worst fight of the night was for the lightweight title, and then no one even won the belt, because in the rematch, Sung Chan Hong, he kicked Takanori Sato in the nuts again, and he could not continue again.
What do you mean again?
Because in the first fight, same thing happened.
Bro, that guy should stop kicking.
He kicked him in the nuts. And Sato was winning the fight, though. It was in the 5th round. And he was winning the fight.
Then Sato should get a middle cup as well.
I don't know, man. It was weird. That was a weird thing that happened, man. I knew that shit was going to happen.
Maybe there were some bet nods in Korea.
Maybe, you know, especially with that fucking Pangtaeyeon thing, that betting scandal shit. Who knows, man? Also, in Korea on Monday, they had Angels fighting, and the Wolverine, he won the welterweight belt, but who gives a shit because he's fighting nobodies, and that belt doesn't mean shit. But he won a belt, the Wolverine, the dude that was the Legend FC champion. Another dude was a heavyweight. He won by knockout, and he called out Mighty Mo.
What a ledge.
Yeah, so he called out Mighty Mo.
Because you call him out Mighty Mo, like you might be intoxicated after that because he's gonna lay you out. Like that's quite a big call out.
But if Mighty Mo's gonna fight any dude from Korea, it would be this guy. This guy's name is Chunsu Lim, and he has a pretty good record, and he's beaten most of the guys that he's fought. So I don't see why Road FC shouldn't sign him and have him fight Mighty Mo for the title. He's calling them out, you know what I mean? He's all on TV.
Yeah, they for sure should.
For sure.
Mighty Mo's chilling, like he's just getting paid and fighting and doing his thing.
Mighty Mo is just living like a G.
Yeah.
He just goes out, knocks a few dudes out, comes back, goes back to Cali. You know,
crazy.
Do his thing. And he don't even have to cut weight.
Yeah, and his plane trip from Cali to Korea is like, what, 10 hours?
Some ridiculous shit.
Yeah, I'm angry as shit because when I left the U.S., I flew from here to Korea, from Korea to Missouri, where I was like cornering Mallory. And then they flew me to Atlanta all the way to the East Coast. And then all the way back. That was crazy. Such a long flight.
That's fucked
Viewers, if you're going to America from Asia, take a Valium.
Golden Warriors FC happened too in
Malaysia.
In Malaysia, right?
Yeah. And Anvar, one of our Gucci fighters for Muay Thai.
Yeah.
His brother fought amateur and won. So we're going to keep him amateur for maybe 1 or 2 fights and get him going.
They had a successful card on their first.
Yeah, they had Sanchai promoting on Instagram in the gold cage.
For sure, man. That's dope, the gold cage.
Did you see that gold cage?
That's dope.
It's ridiculous.
I know. That's fun. That's something that's fun to see that they have a gold cage. Next thing you know, they're going to be like a platinum cage and a fucking diamond-encrusted cage and all that fucking...
Well, they're going to be paying platinum prices.
Well, I guess it was a successful event because they're already planning their second one. That gold shit. But
must be some information I don't have.
Oh, well, I guess they're looking for fighters right now, so, you know. Whatever happened to the Ali? Wasn't he supposed to fight on that?
Yeah, but he's fighting in Macau in 2 weeks.
What?
Yeah, I got 3 guys fighting on the 10th or the 12th. I can't remember the date.
A different promotion?
And yes, in Macau.
In Macau?
Yeah.
For ONE FC?
No. Not the ONE FC next week.
Okay.
And after that, I go to Macau 2 weeks in a row. I'm not happy.
Oh, that's some bullshit.
I have Magomed Azniev, Christoph, and Ali fighting on that.
So the week after you go with them, the week before you go with Rika.
Yeah.
And Shannon.
Yeah.
And Akhmetov.
Yeah, all of them. So 2 weeks in a row, I'm there. Get 1 weekend off, and then 3 weeks in a row. Macau, and then KO for MLO. And then I get a week off, and then I can't remember where I'm at.
Oh shit! You better stay out the casino.
Yeah,
You
for sure.
better not hit that craps table. Get addicted,
Yeah.
right? Hey, also, man, what about Weidman, man? I picked Weidman to win. Did we pick Weidman to win?
Yeah, I did.
I picked Weidman too. I think I agree with you. Man, Weidman looked good, but he got starched though a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah, in the first or second?
Yeah, first round he got lit.
Yeah, but he ate a good one. But you know what? He came back and he did his thing. So good for him.
He'd never been hit like that before though. You've never seen Weidman get lit and dropped like that. That was the first time by a 170er.
No, he's not a 170er.
He is.
No, he's
Look
not.
how small he was compared to Weidman though.
He's not, bro.
He's gonna go to. He said he's gonna go. Listen, he's gonna go to the UFC Performance Center in Las Vegas and work with the dietitians because he can't stay at 185. He needs to be at 170 because he's gonna stop smoking. He's gonna stop smoking that greenery.
Yeah, bro. He had George Lockhart, the best in the business. He can't make weight.
Well, they're gonna get George Lockhart 2.0.
Maybe he doesn't follow the diet.
He doesn't because he's smoking that Cali. That's why.
Yeah, that's probably why.
He got busted for Belfort, right? So, but he needs to do something because, man, he's talented. There's no doubt.
Yo, he's a ledge. He's a ledge.
But, hey, in that UFC on Fox 25 card, that was the only fight that was good, though, to be honest.
Yeah.
The other fights was kind of terrible.
They were not good at all.
Yeah. Well, this week coming up, there's a lot of fights this week. There's Australian FC 20. Melvin Gillard is fighting Israel.
Shout outs to Izzy.
Israel.
Izzy gonna tax that ass.
So we'll talk about that next week on the podcast. Hex Fight Series 10 is next.
Glenn Sparv. Shout outs to Glenn.
Suman Mokhtarian.
Yeah, Suman and Glenn.
And Glenn Sparv.
Yeah, they're both gonna win, and Izzy's gonna tax that ass on Melvin too. Also
in Pro Fight League, Yushin Okami's fighting this weekend. We'll talk about that next week. Oh, and huge UFC 214. Jones versus Cormier is this Sunday or this Saturday, wherever you're at.
So what do you want?
Me, I got Jones submission.
All right. As I always say, I'm going to go with what my heart tells me and with what my knowledge of betting tells me. I'm going to go with Jones to win betting, but I hope DC wins. And I got faith in DC, and I think he's going to pull it off. But if I had to bet, I would bet Jones. But I fucks with DC, and I'm going to ride with him on this, and I think he's going to win. Because if Jones fights, if he fights like he fought OSP, it's going to be easy work for DC.
No, I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, I hope he doesn't.
I think Jones, now he's really himself. Now he's really angry.
He's an asshole.
Yeah, now he's really angry, and he's going to become like another level of himself, I believe. Where he goes in there and his confidence is even higher than before. But who knows, man? Who knows? He might go in there and DC might knock his ass out. Who knows, man? But I put my money on Jones submitting him. Jones is not going to knock him out. He's going to submit him. He's going to do the ground and pound, move into a good position, and take one of his arms. That's what's going to happen.
Maybe, but not likely.
Yeah. And Woodley's going to fucking knock
he's gonna start
back to Brazil.
Yeah, I agree with that. He'll starch him.
Yeah, bad. Like, I think it's gonna be terrible. Like, he's gonna be in his guard and just gonna smash his ass. And it's not gonna be that much fun to watch. Actually, maybe it's just gonna be standing up and he's just gonna knock him out.
Yeah.
And of course, Cyborg's fighting. I think she's gonna smash that girl too.
Yeah,
pretty
I agree.
badly. What about Rob Lawler versus Cerrone?
Lawler. Yeah.
Damn, man, this card is crazy. But anyways, yeah, that's just happening. Also, Ryzen's this weekend too. Horiguchi's fighting.
Horiguchi's winning.
Yeah, what is it? Amir Al-Akbari's fighting on that card. Yachi's fighting on that card. There's a bunch of like killers on that card this weekend. So we'll be talking about all that stuff next week on the podcast. And next week on the podcast, we will probably have, I don't know, probably another guest or something. So we'll see what's up.
Probably.
All right, George. It was good talking to you.
You as well.